All right, hello everybody. Making sure everybody can hear me. Awesome sauce. We're doing a little bit of solo skirmish. We're on episode 5. We're in the second location. Let me tell you what's happening. First of all, these things are available on DM's Guild. What I'm doing is the solo skirmish, the Cult of Malgoraz, and um, written by Paul Bimler. And the this is a made to be run by one person, thus the name Solo Skirmish. Mark Gaffney, also known as Marmus, and Rob Toohey, he's a member of Rob Toohey's team. They converted this for Fantasy Grounds, which makes it so much easier. There is a PDF out there full of tables and whatnot, but Fantasy Grounds makes it so much easier. I am playing a Hippodon named Fion, and he's a hippo creature, which can be found in Whimsical Races, Whimsical Heroes races by Robin Nix, also on DM's Guild. She has a lot of cool stuff on there, from giraffe people to foxes, raccoons, um, all different types of anamorphic humans. Now, we're not talking lycanthropes. We're talking the race itself is a humanoid animal. Very well done, very well balanced. I've played through 3 of them now on in ongoing campaigns, and they work really well. They're not one way. They're not too weak, and they're not too small or too strong. So definitely worth checking out on DM's Guild. And if I own my Hippodon is a paladin. I have minimizing these things, and then I have a halfling slinger, and he is ranger, who's going to be taking the effect of specialty of slinger. He has a staff with where his sling is. Gives him a little extra oomph, more range, a little bit more damage, and that is in the book all about that sling, which is also on DM's Guild, and I converted that with Rob Tui. So check it out, all about that sling. Some good feats, the ranger subclass, um, a couple cool sling weapons. So uh, and a couple magic items as well. So good stuff, all about the sling. Check it out. And my last person is our sidekick that we found picked up along the way. He is a little warrior dude, um, full plate, and his name is Thorsten. Thorsten. He's a crusader. So he came with this module. So we had chased down this guy named Tarak. We are hunting him currently. Last time we went through the barren plains, but we got lost in the barren plains and we are stuck with 2 quest points. You need 3 to get to the next point, the next location. So that is where we are now. We are still in location 2 with, we went through the looted village already, and now we're in the barren plains, but like I said, to leave, you have to have 3 points to leave. So when you get to this point, there are 4 phases: the location, the encounter, hero, and threat phase. Fantasy Grounds take care of all of that for you, well, most of it for you. All you have to do is right here in the storyline, it says story template. Click that, brings it up. Bing, bang, boom, click generate, bam. So because I already did this once, this is actually going to be named Sven Take 2. All right, so let's see what happens. So first of all, we'll bring up our map. There it is. Dun, 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 dun. That is a plains, and it is pretty barren. I added the mist to it, like my clouds. Pretty nifty, huh? That's thanks to Fantasy Grounds Unity. Alright, so we're going to minimize this bad boy till we get to where it says, bring up the map. So what we do first is location phase. So sidekicks, don't worry about it, but each of the characters gets 2 chances to do something cool. Have an event happen. So the first one is Torador. His first role is Plains Hermit, and you click the little dragon head, and it pops open and tells you what happened. You are surprised to see a small dwelling out here in the middle of this endless expanse. Sheltered underneath a weathered tree, a ramshackle hut, scoured the color of sand, sits alone. Outside, the stooped old man tends a small garden, although where he's getting the water from is anyone's guess. It's urine. He calls out a greeting, seemingly unsurprised at your arrival. The old hermit invites you inside his hut to rest and refresh yourselves. Turns out, he even had information relevant to your quest. Take a quest point and bestow the benefits of a short rest on all characters, including any sidekicks. We go click, rest, short rest, boom, party taking short rest. Quest point, visibility, set visible. Pink. Now we have 3. Spoiler alert, if we fail again, we will go to threat 4 and we will fail. So we have to succeed. Alright, so we shake down the old hermit and he tells us where Tarak. I done seen Tarak. Yeah, him and his horde pass by. They don't bother an old man like me. But I saw him turn over to the east and head that away. So we get a quest point. Second event. You happen upon a monument to a fallen hero and can't help but wonder, I wonder, what is it doing all the way out here? It radiates a volatile energy. You sense there is some mystery to be uncovered here. So, we're adventurers. We get easily sidetracked. Doesn't matter that there's a madman running around killing villagers and stuff. Psh, there's a mystery. We're checking it out, man. So to investigate the monument, go to entry 22. Absolutely. Or you may leave this area. No, I'm not. Boom. You approach the monument, looking all around the base and all around the back. After an extensive search, you find what appears to be a secret panel and immediately begin looking for ways to get it open. I have an axe, so I don't really need to look very far. Any character may make a perception check or an investigation check. DC 15. Alright, so I can pretty much tell you Torador is going to do it with help from Fionn. But we'll double check and just make sure. Fionn has 1 perception, 0 investigation. He's not trained in either one, therefore he cannot help. Torador, on the other hand, has a 5 perception and a 1 investigation. And just to double check, see if he can give, he has athletics, insight, and religion. So he also cannot help. Sidekick Crusader, also known as the useless one. It's not true, but gotta give him a hard time so he doesn't get a puffed head, you know. All right, so we're doing our perception here, baby. Do I have guidance? I don't think I do. Do I? Actions. Oh, he's a paladin. We don't got no freaking um, cantrips. Don't know what you're talking about. All right, here we go. Boom, boom, boom. 13. It's a DC 15. We failed. It does say any character may make a wisdom perception check. So that is singular. It doesn't say that all characters, it says singular. So sadly, once again, our group has failed. I am changing the color of the dice because this is getting crazy. Now, one of the coolest things about all the recent changes to Fantasy Grounds Unity is this little dropper. So I can now take this dropper, if I want it to be toward his hair or his eyes. But what I want is the spider, the color of the spider. So, click, there we go. Now our dice are the color of the spider. And, cool, we'll leave them that way. All right, so if unsuccessful, go to 45. You suck. Wah, wah, wah. Trying to wrench the panel open, you unwittingly trigger a trap. Noxious fumes hiss out from a small hole next to the panel. Make a Constitution saving throw DC 15. Constitution is not his favorite, and he gets a 2. Take 1d8 poison if unsuccessful. 2 poison. Could have been so much worse. So much worse. All right. If successful, you assess the panel and whether you'll be able to get it open. If you have Thieves' Tools and proficiency with the same, you can attempt to get the panel open. Let's see. I don't believe he does. He does not. We aren't thieves, man. We're heroes. Okay? Know who you are, implying we will be carrying around something as nefarious as Thieves' Tools. Okay, so we're gonna use something else to get the panel open. At least he's not saying you suck, go away. Try as you might, you cannot see how to disarm the trap. To attempt to open the panel anyway, go to 14. Heck yeah, he's already sucked in some poison, so he knows to hold his breath or do whatever to get it if it goes off again. Getting a blade or a similar object behind the panel and you pry it open. It says prise it open. As soon as you do this, multiple jets spew out a noxious yellow vapor. The last one was green. Now it's yellow. Hey, Pat 2KZ, 1981. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Why, thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for stopping by, doing a little solo. I've got a Hippodon Paladin and a little halfling guy who uses a sling. And the two of them are wandering through this desert trying to track down this hobgoblin. We failed last time, and if we fail again, well, they're dead. So, fingers crossed. Appreciate you stopping by very much, man. This is number 5 of the story, chapter 5. Hey, Nightwolf, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. This isn't Starfinder, this is D&D, but hopefully you'll enjoy it too. So this is number 5. So if you're curious, you can check out the earlier ones on YouTube. Svenzone Solo. All right, so we're in the middle trying to get this stupid trap open, or this whatever this hole is. And so we already had green noxious fumes spew all over my face. Now we've got yellow noxious vapor engulfing me in a poisonous cloud. Here we go. So Nightwolf says, I play more Pathfinder, but I play D&D as well. I'm really interested in Pathfinder 2, the second edition. Seems really cool. Pathfinder 1 is a little too crunchy for my personal taste. Role-playing is role-playing, but mechanics-wise, Pathfinder and D&D 3.5 and stuff, there's just too many scenarios. I listened to a really good podcast where they play Pathfinder original, and at least once a session, I think to myself, I'm glad I don't play Pathfinder because they spend an inordinate amount of time um, figuring out +2, -1, +1, +2. The wind is blowing, the wind's not blowing, the moon's in uh, waxing phase, so therefore you get a -1. So all this different stuff. Starfinder is not quite as crunchy. Um, it's a lot crunchier than D&D 5e, but anyway, I digress. Nightwolf says, I have second edition as well. Yeah, but second edition scene has some really cool stuff. I like how they do initiative, for example, how they do their magic items, different things like that. How they do their crits is pretty cool. So, you may wonder, gee, Sven, I've been spending a lot of time talking to the chat. Yeah, well, I'm surrounded in a noxious yellow vapor, okay, so calm down. I'm trying to drag this out before I die. The active character must make a DC 18 Constitution save, taking 2d10 poison damage on a failed save. Alright, well, here we go. Back to his main page. Constitution. Boom. 1. I'm guessing 3 is not going to be enough. And sure enough, DC 18. So he takes 2d10 poison damage on a failed save. Alrighty. However, I just realized I may have found a way out. This specifically says the active character. The story entry before this says any character may try to open it. This says the active character must make a DC 18. So the active character is actually Fion because Torador already went. Ha ha ha. So Torador is sitting there going, pink! And he pops open the panel, and all of a sudden this cloud comes spewing out of this obelisk right into Fion's face. So let's check it out, and let's see if Fion... So Fion is going to use... He has Tyr's Blessing. Oh, it's an attack roll. Never mind. Never mind. Alright, so Con, here we go. Come on, Fion. We believe in you. 6. 9 total. Still not enough for 18. So 2d10 damage. Here we go. 2d damage. 5. Awesome. Could have been a lot worse. Okay, so let's check this out. So he goes 5 wounds out of possible 20. Not bad at all. He still has 21 life left. But what happens now? If you are still alive, we are, you have discovered something truly awesome behind this secret panel. Make a roll on the awesome items table. Again, Fantasy Grounds makes it really nice. Click the table. Boof. Click the roll. Boof. Let's see what we get. A potion of greater healing. All right. Very good. I'll take that. Thank you very much. Go to our inventory. And right here, everything is linked right here. So all I have to do is find it. It was, what did I roll? 19. All right, so here it is, Potion of Greater Healing. Bink. Alrighty, so Fion has 3 potions of healing. Torador has 2 potions of healing. We're going to go ahead and give this to Fion, just because Fion's a big boy and he needs the healing. To click down to distribute assignments and coins. Poof. Rough start, Nightwolf says. Yes, it is. One last thing on the Pathfinder. I do have Pathfinder 2nd Edition for Fantasy Grounds, as I do Starfinder, and that's how you play Starfinder. So using a virtual tabletop like Fantasy Grounds Unity makes life a lot simpler. The podcast I listen to, they're doing tabletop, so every single roll, every single attack, every single enemy, they have to sit there and do all the calculations themselves. Fantasy Grounds Unity makes it a lot simpler. All right, give me just a second, folks. Alrighty. Hopefully you're still hanging out. See, Nightwolf says typical poison. Poison you first and gives you a potion of healing. Absolutely. But hey, I'll take it. I'll take 5 points of damage for a potion of greater healing at least. Alright, so we close all these down. Click, click, click. That's the Lone Monument. Dun, dun, dun. Again, it's a monument to a fallen hero. That's D&D for you, I tell you. Out in the middle of nowhere, in the desert, there's this lone obelisk with a doubly poisoned opening with a potion of healing. But moving on, it is back to Torador, character 1, roll 2, Plains Hermit. So, if the character rolls a result they had already had at this location, they may choose to re-roll, but they must use the new result. So, the key word here is they may choose to re-roll. So, I am choosing not to re-roll. Gee, Sven, why aren't you re-rolling? Why? Because the Plains Hermit is pretty awesome. He gave me... So, let's go back to the Hermit. It says, you are surprised to see a small dwelling out here in the middle of this endless expanse. Sheltered underneath a weather tree, a ramshackle hut scoured by the wind sits alone. Outside, a stooped old man tends a small garden, although where's he getting the water from is anyone's guess. He calls out a greeting, seemingly unsurprised at your arrival. Hey, how you doing? Nice to see you again. The old hermit invites you inside his hut to rest and refresh yourselves. Turns out he even has information relevant to your quest. Take a quest point. Why? I don't mind if I do. Click, I now have 4 quest points, and bestow the benefits of a short rest on all characters, including any sidekicks. So, let's go ahead and do that. Menu, short rest. And how hurt am I? He's down 5 out of 26. I have 2 hit dice. I'm actually not going to do anything about that. We're just going to move on with life. Okay. Last one is Vione. Curse of Shar. Bum, bum, bum. It's a Bane. I'm guessing it's probably not that good of a thing. The goddess of dark, night, and forgetfulness roams this area, and you have unknowingly been touched by her malevolent energy. The player who rolled this result must make a charisma saving throw, DC 13, plus the current threat. Well, current threat, you ask, is 3. So, the saving throw is charisma. He's got a +4. It's his best saving throw. Let's see. 20. Booyah! He's a paladin. Of course he doesn't get fazed by fear and silliness of these evil dark deities. If you fail, he's not. All right, so if the threat has advanced between now and the next combat encounter, the DC is raised again. Okay, so, yep. The whole thing pivots on if you fail. I did not fail because he is awesome. Finally rolled a good roll. So, no Bane for him. Dun, dun, dun. Yay. All right, so encounter phase. Results, none, none, and none. Yeah. So, we are golden, people. Woot, woot. So, we may take 2 actions each. Buy and sell stuff, long rest. And if you're wondering, gee, what does any of this stuff mean? What do you mean, recruit? What do you mean, scry? What do you mean, search? It's all right here. Click. So, we're going to do the same thing we did last time, except for this time, hopefully, we'll be successful. Both my people failed last time. So the first thing is Torador is going to try to, Vion is going to try to gather information using his intimidation. So he's going to shake up the old man again. Tell me what you know! Tell me now! Maybe. There we go. So we look up intimidation. 12 plus his for 16. The DC is 13 plus the current threat level, which is 3. So 16 is exactly what we need. Booyah. I already told you. He went that way. Don't forget, one of his lieutenants has a limp. So if you're following the trail, just look for the drag mark, the step drag, step drag. So, on a successful check, the party gains 1 quest point. Yeah. Alright, so now the last thing we're doing is searching. Character can make a search per action per hero phase, a perception or investigation check. So once again, Torador, this time he's going to open his eyes and search. It's also DC 16. He got a 13, so he fails. Click. Now that brings us to the threat phase. So the first step is advance the threat marker by 1 and read the associated event. Click, he goes to 4. Oops, wrong button, there it is. Click. Alright, so we have our threat tracker is at 4 now. So when do we move to, when do we spend our points to advance? That part I don't remember, but let's see. We'll take a look and see what it says. If the player does not reach the orc camp location, target is beyond reach and failed the quest. We have enough points to get there, so yes, I'm pretty sure this is where we pay it. So we pay our 3 point, click, visibility, invisible, invisible, invisible. So now we're down to 2. All right, so the characters have reached the orc camp location. Tarek the Ruthless spawns. One character makes a contested stealth check with Tarek. The player may spend quest point on this check to grant themselves inspiration. If Tarek wins the check, he sneaks up on them and they are surprised. If the PCs win, they are able to sneak up on him and he is surprised. Go to the combat sheet. All right, so here is a picture. Dun dun dun. Tarek, the Ruthless. He is our bad guy. He is the one we have been hunting for all this time. Click, click. We'll just shift him to the side for a moment. Choose a place near the bottom of the orc camp battle map. Okay, so we gotta find the orc camp battle map. Click, here it is. Location 3, orc camp. Located in a shallow, hidden gully within the Anarach, you finally chance upon a hidden orc encampment. Surely, this is where Tarek is hiding out. Then you notice not only orcs are here, gnolls, dwarves, even humans are lurking about, all of them with a mercenary look. Not really sure what a mercenary look is, but hey, I didn't write it. Thieves and cutthroats are all around. Perhaps you will be able to blend in as you search for your quarry. Sure, that makes sense. A crusader in full plate armor, a paladin hippo man, and a short, tiny little halfling dude with a staff sling. Blend in right in is their middle name. Okay. So before we actually get to the fight, we have to do the storyline. Click, click. We will come back to you in a moment. Here's our map. We can get rid of the barren plains. All right, so let's take a look at this. Turn off the line of sight. Click. All right, so we have our map. First thing I like to do is read the bottom. It says non-goblins are definitely a minority here. Whenever you make an attack against a goblinoid creature, there's a chance someone will try to hamper your efforts. Roll on a 20. And on a 1 to 5, you have disadvantage. Okay? We will keep that in mind. So there's our map. Click, minimize, blank. So once again, generate. Boom. Does all the work for you. You'll notice this is the right one because it does not say generate. This is take 1. If I can spell. Okay. We're trying to blend in. Hello, Dan Dazzle. Welcome, welcome. So our Halflings Ranger with a sling, our Hippodon Paladin, and our Knight are trying to blend into the orc camp that has orcs, gnolls, goblins, dwarves, humans, all with a mercenary look. So we're trying to blend in here. We pass by. Sup. Sup. First of all, Torador. So we'll go ahead and get rid of Tarok, the ruthless, for the moment. Minimize his little ruthless butt. So Torador, the halfling, do. A patrol has spotted you and take exception to your presence here. Make a stealth, persuasion, or strength check. So his stealth is +4, not bad. Persuasion is +0, and his strength +3, also not bad. So definitely doing the stealth. So we take off running around one of these buildings, trying to hide from these guys. Where'd it go? Here it is. Come on, 15. Why is it right? It rolled twice. He rolled an 8. So if you fail the next encounter phase, do not roll but spawn and do battle with 2 orcs. Okay, I'm probably just going to add them to the encounter. We'll check it out and see what happens. All right. Meanwhile, Vione, the orc god of war, Ilneval, is aligned with your cause and is pleased with your prowess. During your next combat encounter, you may choose one attack to make with advantage. So, Fione's rolling in the boons. He has Tyr's Blessing, and now he has Ilneval Smiles. Advantage on one attack. Boom. Meanwhile, Torador is just killing it. From a small belfry at the edge of the area, a bell comes loose and falls from its tower. Make a DC 10 dex save. He's pretty good at dex saves, so let's see. There we go. He got 14. Or take 1d8 bludgeoning damage on a fail. So he jumps out of the way, clang, 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 as his bell just goes ringing and falling. He's trying to hide from the orcs. And of course, they now know where he is. So back to Fione. You chant. There's a chance to prove your prowess. A large, burly orc is challenging all comers. Come on, if you think you're up to it. Wrestle me. He's all covered in oil. Any character may make 3 contested strength checks with the orc, whose strength score is 16, which is plus 3. If you win 2 or more of the checks, you win 100 gold. If you fail, you lose 50. First of all, we need to check to see if we have 50 gold, which I believe we do. We have 250. Awesome. All right, so Fione's up for this. Whoosh, takes off his armor. Chink, 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 chink. Nothing sexier than a hippo man with his shirt off. Steps into the ring. Atomic Hero Squad. Hello, hello. My Hippodon is about ready. Boom. To wrestle with an orc. Here we go. It's wrestling time. So he makes strength check, athletics check. Here we go. Boom. That's Fione. Fione rolls a 7. Great way to start. And by great, I mean really crappy. So let's see what the orc does. He could roll worse. The orc didn't show up. What the heck? Over. Come on. Okay, now I'm getting annoyed. What's happening? Oh, that one shows up. Regardless, all 3 rolls he won. So, second roll. Come on, Fione, stop sucking at life here. So they circle each other. Fione charges forward, and the orc drops, reaches around, and whips Fione down to the ground with a crash. As this dust flies everywhere, and he pins him, and then they stand back up. Fione shakes his head, tries again. Come on. There we go. 21. This time he's ready for the orc, and as he goes charging for him, he stops short, and the orc moves up. Let's see what he does. He could still win. It's close. 19. The orc tries the same thing. This time, Biome braces himself, and as the orc goes down, tries to flip him. He reaches down and grabs him, does roll on top of him, flips him over, and pins the orc. So it's 1-1. So it all boils down to this one. Fione goes again. This time, he gets another 7. These guys just cannot catch a break. Oh, look at that. He got a 2. He got a 2. Fione is the winner. So as Fione moves up, he catches his foot. Eyes goes wide as he falls, and the orc sees his opportunity, charges toward him, but he also trips, collapses, falls on top of Fion, who then rolls with the orc, pinning him down. And the crowd goes wild. By crowd, I mean the two half-drunk mercenaries and a little goblin. You owe me 5 gold. So we get 100 gold pieces, folks. That is the way you win D&D. Boom. Alright, so Fion gets up, goes to the town well, rinses himself off, puts his armor back on. Alright, so the encounter, random encounter triggered, find the battle map, and spawn orc and 1 goblin. So if you remember, Torador pissed off 2 orcs, so we're actually going to have 3 orcs and a goblin. It's going to be a tougher fight now, but we'll give it a shot. So let's see. Here's our orc camp. Here's our encounter. Clickety clickety. We're going to minimize this bad boy. Put it up here. Alright, so we need 3. Oops, I have to unlock it first. 3 orcs. It's going to make it considerably harder. And we go to our assets. And we go to tokens. First of all, we'll go with goblins. Goblin. Because I don't like using the letters G and O. So here we go. Lots of goblins to choose from. Let's try the old top-down this time. So we'll put this guy in here. Boof. And then we'll go for orcs. Go for a couple top-down tokens. Let's see. Half orc, half orc. We're getting there, we're getting there. Orc. Alright, so. Boof. There we go. So now we determine where are they. So they can be pretty much anywhere on here except for the buildings. They could be in a tent, they could be over here, they could even be in this tent. So there's 10, there's 12 across. So first of all, we're going to do is going to divide it by 4 in half. Odd, they're above the line. Even, they are below the line. All right. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So it's 10 and that was 12. That's 120 plus 16. So it's 136. So we're going to start up here by this little bushy bush. And we're going to go DIE. 1, D. Actually going to be 4 because there's 4 of them. 4D116. Boom. So the first one is a 30. So Goblin Boy. So this one is 8 plus 12 is 20. So he's about here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So he's here. Come on. Oh, there he is. Why is this so small? Is this grid not real? What? How dare he? How dare you? Unlock. Go to the grid. Where's the grid? Oh, yeah. So we just doubled everything. All right. Never mind. So let's make the grid, we'll make it like a brownish. There we go, and then we'll turn it down. All right, so let's see. Do we really want this? Let's see, is this too big? Are we going to leave it the way it is? Yeah, so let's change this to 100. There we go. All right, so after all that, putting our dude back where we said he was going to be. Click him right here, and now we put him back down here. Boom, right there. See, now he's big. Second one is 112. So we said it was 116, so he's like right here. Boof, he's at the wagon. Sup, man? Oh, I see his sword's behind him. There we go. Okay. Next one's 33, so he's 30, so 3 is right here. And 82. So 30, and there's 12 each. So 30, 42, 54, 66, 78, 82 is right here. All right, so now we take this, we lock it, we make sure we have our fight somewhere. We're going to drag it onto the map. Boof, so we pin it right here, and we close it. What? They're all gone. And now they're back. And we make them seen. Click, click, there we go. And now we roll for initiative. All right, so orc number 8 gets to go first. So, boom, here we are. Let's get rid of this line. Oh, it would help if we figure out where our dudes are, huh? So, same thing. Odd, they're up. They're up. So it's pretty much the same numbers. So 116. So we will do roll / DIE 1D116. Oops, I forgot to do it. 1 and 2. All right, so 29, 67, 24. So first of all is Thorsten. He's in 29. So this is 12, 24, 29 is about right there. Next is Torador. He's 67. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 60. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That doesn't make any sense. If Torador is 29, he's way up here. 12, 28, he's here. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 24, 36. Okay, yeah. 60 and 7. Okay. I'm so confused. All this math. Who knew math? D&D would be so much math. 24. So he's 5 less than him. He's way the hell over here by himself. What the heck is he doing over here in the hay? He's probably getting dressed after his fight. Win. somebody yells out, and the orcs start charging. Alright, so first of all is orc number 8, way down here. We'll zoom in a little bit on the map. Get things a little closer if we can. There we go. Alright, so let's see what orc number 8 has in his hand. He has a javelin and a great axe. So he obviously wants to use the great axe as much as he can. He can move 30 feet. So he's going to run. Goes running up. And throws his javelin to closest guy. He's got a well here, and he's a halfling. So he's going to have a -2 to hit. -2. He is 35 feet away. So he has disadvantage as well because he is out of range. So the odds of him hitting are not very good, but and with a 2 on the dice, he missed. So he goes throwing, wind blows, dang! The javelin sticks into the crossbeam of the well toward her. Well done. See what I did there? Well done. Alright, so he has a heavy crossbow, Thorsten, our crusader. Dun dun dun. He also has a movement speed of 30. He's going to come over and protect the halfling. What's going on here, folks? Come on. I broke it. I broke it. What happened? Thorsten. All right. Escape. Here we go. Not sure what happened, but that's okay. So he's going to move up here. It didn't like being punished. I like it, Zinlu. Hello, hello. You snuck in there while we were talking. I didn't see you, but welcome. I appreciate you hanging out with me. So we've got our Crusader, who's sort of helping us out. We have our Hippo Man, and we have our Halfling. And Hippo Man's a Paladin, Halfling is a little Ranger, and they're getting attacked by some orcs and a Goblin. So they're defending themselves. Our Paladin, our Crusader runs up, shoots with his crossbow. He's actually going to go for the orc that has not shot yet. He's going to draw a bead and holds his breath, pulls the trigger, and the bolt finds its way true, strikes true right into the freaking. Let's see how bad this is for the orc. 6 total of 6. What? D plus. Oh, okay. 6 points of damage. Whoosh, as this thing just bolts goes slashing through his shoulder. Blood comes spewing out as the bolt goes flying past into the bushes beyond. The orc stumbles. If he wasn't mad before, he's definitely mad now. And it makes it easier, so now we know who he's going to attack as well. All right, so little Goblin Boy, he Has a scimitar and a short bow. So he's a little guy. He is not interested in going toe to toe with this armored individual. So he's just going to use his bow. Poing! See if he can get a little arrow damage, and he does. So as Thorsten revels, holding his crossbow, he gets smacked by a bolt, by an arrow. 4 points of damage. Could have been a lot worse. And now the true master of the sling. So he has a staff that has a sling on the top of it that he has rigged up. That gives him a little extra oomph. He's not really worried about this orc. He wants to try to finish off this one over here who has been hurt. Let's take a look and see how far away he is from him. And that is 60 feet. That is exactly as close as he needs to be. So he is going to let loose with one of his sling bullets. I was just a little bit too far over. There we go. Now let's try it again. Oof, and he rolls a 1. So he goes to put the bullet in his sling, goes to start swinging it, and realizes he didn't have it set up right, so it just falls to the ground. He sort of turns a little red as tries to cover it up as he loads a second bullet. Meanwhile, this orc is sort of surprised as these bolts go and arrows go flying around. He's like, nobody's hitting me. Ha 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 ha. Well, hey. So he's going to run up. He also has a great axe and a javelin. He's close enough, though, to where he does not have a minus, nor does he have a well in front of him. 3 20s in a row. That is crazy. Come on, folks. Well, not 3 20s. It was 2 20s, a 1, and a 20. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. 2 20s, a 1, and a 20 again. That is amazing. Anyway, so as he's bending over to pick up his sling bullet, hoping nobody notices, a javelin comes flying and slams into him, almost knocking him down. 10 points of damage. He's down by 12 out of 20. And that brings us to our paladin. Our Hippodon, as he comes charging out from all over here. So we're going to say this is difficult terrain. So that's 25 and 30. So looking around, strapping up the last strap on his armor. He also has javelins, but he likes to be up front and personal. He's going to take the chance anyway. He's going to use his blessing of Tyr to add 1d10 to his attack roll. So we will go ahead and remove that. We will add the 1d10 first, roll it first. He rolls a 4, so we go plus 4. he's going to take out the little guy. He cannot see the guy who's wounded already, so he's just going to go and throw his javelin at the little guy. He is at disadvantage, though, because he is more 10, 20, more than 30 feet away. Hopefully the +4 will make up for being at disadvantage. It did not. This is the weirdest dice rolls ever. I don't know if I should change the color or what, but two 20s, a 1, a 20, and a 1. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. All right, so he missed. So now this guy is hurt. He sees this javelin get stuck in the dirt. So he doesn't really care about that. So he's going to move up. And he's going to throw his javelin. Just everybody's throwing javelins left and right and back and forth. He is well within range, but Thorsten is easily able to block it with his shield as this javelin misses, hits the bush next to him. Top of round 2. So he's furious that he did not do so well last time because he hit the well with his javelin. He's going to run up. And because the halfling mocked him, he's going to charge to him. Use his great axe and try to take it out. What does this say? As a bonus action, you can move up to its speed toward a hostile creature you can see. Okay. Good to know. I didn't know that. All right, here we go. He misses. Stressful, man. I got two extra orcs in this fight. My poor people have been rolling weird. At least the rolls seem to be going back to normal now. So these weird opposite extremes all the time. All right, so my sidekick, he can do a healing touch, which is 1d6 plus his level. So 1d6 plus 2. Okay, so he's going to step up, use his greatsword, and swings. 3 is a miss. So the orc sees him coming and is able to block him with his great axe. As they scrape against each other, push off, stand one with the great sword, one with the great axe, as they leer at each other. And now the little goblin guy. He's the hippo man who threw a javelin at him, even though it was pitiful. And he's going to try to shoot him. Let's loose an arrow. But it falls short, skimming through the dirt. Torador. Alright, so the guy's up in his face. He does not like being this close. Alright, how do I not have spells for my ranger? That is weird. Alright, so give me just 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. He's gonna get, this won't take me very long, because I know what I want. Source is Ranger. Ranger. There it is. Ranger. Click. Alright, so we definitely want Cure Wounds. Zephyr Strike is usually pretty good. Actually, I think he's going to do that right now. He's going to go for that one. Zephyr Strike didn't like that. I mean, Fancy Ground didn't like that. Alright, so I'm going to remind myself, you move like the wind. Your movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks. That is excellent. You can give yourself advantage on one weapon attack. Deals an extra 1d4 on a hit. Walking speed increases by 30 feet until the end of that turn. Alright, so that is what he's doing. He's going to use his Zephyr Strike spell. Click. So first of all, speed increase. So he's going to do that and use it for now, right now. So speed increases, goes to himself. This is a concentration spell, so if he takes any damage, it might drop. And so he is going to. Oh, it's here twice. That's probably why it broke. All right, so he's going to the next roll. So it's on turn. No. All right, so give yourself advantage on one. Here we go. That's what I was looking for. Advantage attack. So first he's going to move out of the way. 25. And he's actually just going to keep going over to here so he can have still has a clear shot on everybody. His movement increased by 30, so he still has 5 more feet of movement if he wanted to. He has advantage. He's going to shoot this guy who was dared attack him while he still has a clear shot. Or now that he has a clear shot because he moved too far. He is within his first range increment. So here we go. Staff Sling. So he casts this spell and this wind just starts whipping up around him, and the orc sort of, the dust gets in his eyes and he would normally be able to strike him, but he just suddenly takes off as this wind follows behind him as he whips through the bush past his friend, up around the corner, comes sliding to a stop as he spins. His sling is already spinning, and he lets loose and hits the orc. Now we do the extra damage. Boom. So a total of 10 damage to this guy. Bam, as he gets hit. Knocking his helmet off as the bullet bounces off his helmet. His ears are ringing. Shakes his head as he sees some spots. Still sees this guy with a great sword in front of him, but he is not doing very well. Alright, so now I just want to make sure until the end of that turn, his speed increases duration 1. Yep, so he's good. Till the spell ends, your movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks. So that's really the only benefit he gets now for 1 minute is he doesn't provoke opportunity attacks. He can run around people just fine. Alright, so now this orc is really confused. The one he just threw his javelin at took off. Whoosh. What? So he's going to just run up and with his great axe, going to engage this knight-looking guy. And a 1. Another 1. Wow. Okay, so the orc comes running up. He had a javelin in hand, so he puts his javelin back and goes to grab his great axe. And he's like dropping it and almost trips. Manages to pick it up. Alright, so if I own, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Perfect. So he grabs his flail, starts swinging these 3 steel balls on the end of chains that are attached together on the end of a stick. Starts swinging them around. Got his shield out and he's just go running, charging toward this guy who's already bleeding. Running up, and he has a charge attack. So what happens is if he moves 20 feet that ends within 5 feet of a creature, that creature must make a DC strength saving throw. Okay, so I have this already ready for him. Boom. Does he make it? Let's see. It's 11. He needed a 12, so he fails. Takes 2d6 damage and is knocked prone. Bam. She slams into him, and not only is he prone, but that is enough as he runs up, flail ready, slams into him, bringing his shield down, and slams into him, and as he goes flying, had his javelin in his hand, the orc did, and he hears crack, crack, as some ribs crack, and he goes crashing and rolling, lays still, a little blood trickling from his mouth on the ground as he dies from this charge attack. And Fiona's standing there looking around at who to go to next. And so that actually is part of his attack, part of his move. And he can do, once you've used this trait, you cannot do so until you complete a short or long rest. So he's going to move up as where the orc is dead. Uses action to move. And he's going to sidle up next to him in case Torador needs to shoot him with his sling. All right, so that is the bottom of the round. Top of round 3 is the orc. All right, 2 against 1. It's not very fair. But who said orcs were ever fair, right? So this orc swings his great axe, and he steps back as the blade goes flying by him, and he steps forward, brings down his great sword. But in a bizarre, macabre dance, the two of them are just swinging, whoosh, dodging, swinging, dodging, moving as these blades, one an axe and one is giant sword, just go whoosh, whooshing through the air, inches from each other as they do this dance. The goblin is terrified because this thing is right up in his face, but he drops his short bow, pulls out a scimitar. He's gonna try to stab him with his scimitar. He misses. Cling, tink, tink, tink. Looks around and takes off. So I'm going to say he should come down here. So we're going to say, well, let's see, there's possibly 7 different ways he could go. It logically should go down here. So I'm going to say double of these 5. So that's 10, 11, 12. All right, here we go. Don't worry, I know what I'm talking about. So this is what I meant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So he rolled 11. So he is using his nimble escape ability. The goblin can take the disengage as a bonus action at the end of its turn. So he's going to disengage, whoosh, which means, sadly, our Hippodon cannot attack him. As he goes running, and then he sees the halfling up there, whoosh, whoosh, and he takes off over here. Okay. Oh, his speed is 30 feet. Okay. Boof. And then he sees that guy fighting, and he's like, starts turns to the north. Shifty, shifty. So he's running. Torador. Okay, so Torador doesn't trust this little guy. So he's going to shift a little bit. Line himself up with the bigger enemy. But first he's going to take care of the little guy. That's right, I said but first. 18, 24 total is a definite hit. So there's a little goblin running. Bam, he gets hit in the side with a sling. Nice, 8 damage. Whoosh. He cries out. He's struggling around. Blood coming from his fingers. He's trying to run away. The big hole in the side now. This orc down here joining in the dance. The 3 of them are doing as huge axes whoosh, whoosh, swinging by, whoosh, whoosh, and this crusader in plate armor, king, slash, clang, using his huge sword, and the 3 of them are just not able to get through this web of and this shield of metal that they've set up. But Fion is here, and he's going to run up. He looks over, sees Torador, so he's going to keep going up. Actually, he's just going to turn. Ground shaking a little bit as this huge hippodon runs up. Got his flail, still the whirring balls. Swings it at the orc in front of him. As his flail lashes out, he's going to use his blessing of the orc god to give himself advantage. Il Novel smiles and gives me advantage as the orcs focused on the guy in front of him, and then his helmet shifts just enough and he can't really see. Takes a moment. Grabs his axe up by the hand, where the blade is, with one hand, moves his helmet back, and then turns just in time to see this swing coming at him. Advantage. No, not the javelin, a flail. 14 is enough. All right, so swings and slams into him. The other two miss, but the third ball comes slamming into him. He stumbles a little bit, takes 5 points of damage. Top of the next round. His friend, I'm going to say there's 80% chance he's still going to go for this guy, even though it's never hit him. 95, all right, so he turns and faces this big charging Hippodon and tries to shift his attack at the last minute, and it does fool him as he's slamming the orc in front of him. This big blade comes and slams into his chest, stumbles back as this axe does 6 points of damage. Thorsten hopefully is taking swings, hoping to take advantage of his. He does. He takes advantage of his shifted focus, and while as his axe sinks into Fione, Thorsten's greatsword sinks into him. And since he only had 2 hit points left, and he did 11 hit points, which would have been enough to kill him had he been in full health, +3. He swings his axe, fighting with Thorsten as this Hippodon comes running up, smacks his friend. He goes, faints at corridor, shifts and turns, slamming into the Hippodon, and then he feels this blade as sees it just seconds before as the blade comes right in front of his face and then slices down, slicing off his entire right arm and his left hand as they fall to the ground with the axe still grasped. And he coughs, chokes, drops onto his back. His blood spewing out of his hand and his side and his shoulder. And the goblin is taken off. So he is going to go. Come on. There we go. He can go 60 feet, 55, 60. So he's still in range of a crossbow or a sling bullet if our heroes are feeling particularly vindictive. But right now, Torador is actually more focused on this orc. Now that his friend has been hit again. All right, why isn't he? There we go. So Torador is going to sling at this one over here. As his two friends are fighting it, he's focused at fighting Torador with his axe, whoosh, dodging out of the way of the sword, gets slammed by a flail, spins around, stepping back, trying to keep both eyes, and all of a sudden the sling bullet comes and slams into him. And is enough. It hits him right in the base of the throat as he drops his axe and falls back on top of his dying friend's axe. Fione reaches down, grabs the orc's javelin, and 10, 20, just out of spite, is going to throw the javelin with disadvantage at the fleeing goblin. And stay out! Oops, wrong button. Wrong one. Wah, wah, wah. Here we go. Disadvantage. A 1. Another 1. Boy. I tell you what. This is craziness. What a fight. What a fight. Alright. So, fight has passed. Our heroes stand victorious. Little hurt, a little worse for wear, but they are alive at this point. We will leave them where they are. Minimize the map. Let's see, we've been going for an hour and a half already. The next one is the big fight. So, don't really want to get into the big fight just yet. Gritty, violent battle. Yeah, that was pretty intense. Orcs and goblins, giant hippo men are not exactly the most cultured and refined warriors that are out there. So next we have our, where'd he go? Next time on Svenzone Solo 6, Tarok the Ruthless against our wounded heroes. We will see. Don't even know if Tarok is by himself. He should have minions, you would think. We'll have to see. Our heroes do have healing potions. They have a couple spells, so not all is lost. We will have to see how it plays out. Thank you for hanging out, guys. Zinlo, Atomic, Dan Dazzle, Nightwolf. I really do seriously appreciate you guys hanging out and saying hello. If you guys are watching on YouTube, check them out. Dan_Dazzle, Atomic_Hero Squad. Zinlu is Zinlu. If you're a fan of a really cool voice, I won't add the adjectives I was thinking of because it would get awkward. But a lot of people go to Zinlu just to hear his voice. And then there's Night Wolf, Night WULF 38. Check them all out. They're great guys. Follow them. Make sure you follow me. But whatever else you do, enjoy the rest of your day.